So to get started, let's start with the simplest of jobs, and that will be the barrel and hop. So we're just going to take this apart, put the Laylax barrel and the Firefly Hop in, and then we've got that done out the way. It can be slipped into the gun when we can do, and then we might move on to some of the gearbox components. So let's get some tools, crack this thing open and get it replaced. So first of all, what we want to do is we want to remove the two Phillips screws situated on the front of the hop unit. Important thing to remember when working on any Tokyo Marui that I've come across over the past 10 years is that always make sure, especially when you're using Phillips screwdrivers, make sure it's the right size. So many times you can think that the screw is going to accept a much bigger, a much smaller screwdriver, and you'll be surprised when you're moving up to the right size, it'll fit like a glove. And you won't get any stripped heads, which is quite common on Tokyo Marui replicas. And then we're just going to pull the front off very carefully. And we're just angling, basically putting pressure on that main piece and just moving it away from the hop and the barrel. I'm just going to turn this upside down so you can see better. There we go. Take that piece off. You can see there the standard hot rubber, which doesn't actually look too bad. There's a bit of wear where the nub's obviously been pushing down on the hot rubber. Let's see if we can get this removed. And the reason I've gone for not that many companies make upgrade parts for these AEPs, but the reason most of the time I go for Laylax products is because the quality just speaks for itself. Sorry, and unless you want to be spending a lot of money on something handcrafted by the master himself, Edgy Custom Works, you can't really get better than a Prometheus barrel, in my opinion. I'm sure there's many people out there that would argue with me, and I'm by no means saying it is the best out there. I'm just saying, in my opinion, in my experience, everything that I've fitted a Laylax barrel into, I've never had any issues with it, and it's always gave me great results. All my personal guns have Laylax Prometheus barrels in, and they're just, you can tell as soon as you take it out of the box. You know, the stainless steel just speaks for itself. Superbly machined, excellent bore finish, great machining, and like I say, you just can't go wrong. So we can pop that to one side. We're actually just going to get a knife and cut this open. I might not have a knife, so I'll just use this flat edge screwdriver. You're going to open for me? Yeah, there we go. And I've got to admit, this is going to be the first time I've used a Firefly Hop product in a gun that technically I'm going to be using myself. Now, I've fitted these for customers many times, however I've never used one in one of my own guns. And you can see, I don't know if you can see this, standard nub on that one is just like as you would expect a normal nub. However, this is very much like a PDIW hold, and the quality of the moulding and stuff on this is absolutely superb, so I don't think we're going to run into any issues whatsoever. Nice and soft as well, meaning it's going to get a great grip on those BBs without having to put too much pressure down. What's actually weird here is it looks like almost looks like it's not going to work. The windows are the same, but it almost looks like this hop that the actual nub themselves are that far apart that it's not gonna. It might. You never know. We'll have to test it and see. But like with a PDIW hold, you get obviously the nub comes attached like that, and as you push it down, it'll sort of splay open and touch 2 points of contact on the BB, which obviously gives you more friction and hop. I don't know if you can see this. The spread is very, very wide, so I'm hoping this gives great performance. If you've used these hot rubbers before, the Firefly ones, not only in an AEP, but if you've used one with a similar system to that with the two peak nub, head down to the comments below, let us know what you think about it. We'd love to know. So let's get this feed on here. Spin this upside down. Be interesting to see as well, because you can see the standard nubs have two peaks as well. So let's get it installed and see where we are with it. It looks like I managed to get it into position after a bit of jiggery pokery and finger gymnastics. What you want to do when you're screwing these in is make sure you're not applying any forward pressure if you can get away with it. Just try and screw it in gently. Perfect, right, there we go. Nice and aligned. What I actually found is it's very easy to actually push this in too far and pinch it up where you feel it should go further. The barrel actually needs to sit a little bit back from full seat. Not sure on why they've done that. Obviously some kind of deal with the hot rubber, but it's all nice and aligned. Let's test the hop and see if it's working. Just adjust it here. Yeah, it's working lovely. So if you look down there, I don't know if you can see the two peaks, nice and centered, lovely. Pop that to one side. We'll keep the standard one handy because Tokyo Marui doesn't actually make a bad hot rubber. So we'll keep this spare, and if need be, because that one is very, very soft, we can always switch back to the Marui one if we find that it's not doing what it should be. So barrel and hop is done. Like I say, you can follow any of these points. I mean, wow, with the Firefly instructions, it's actually like a printed bit here, but then you've got like some really crude hand-drawn stuff to show you where. I mean, I can't even read this, so I don't really know. So let's get that put to one side. We'll get the standard barrel put into the Laylax packaging to keep it safe. There we go. So while we're still waiting for the battery and the electronic pieces to turn up to convert this, let's take a look inside that full gearbox and assess the damage.